Have you ever looked into her eyes and felt that something's missing? She smiles, she talks, but deep down you can feel it. That quiet disgust, that hidden resentment she'll never say out loud. What if I told you that she doesn't need to scream or curse to show you she hates you? Her silence, her tone, her eyes, they already said it all. You just refuse to listen. Most men don't realize when respect dies. They think arguments kill relationships. But it's not the shouting that destroys love. It's the quiet shift when she stops seeing you as a man she admires. That's the moment everything changes. You can sense it in her energy. Suddenly, you're the one walking on eggshells. She acts distant, sarcastic, maybe even joking about your weaknesses. But deep down, it's not humor. It's contempt disguised as playfulness. Psychology tells us that contempt is the single strongest predictor of a relationship's collapse. It's the point where her mind says, "I'm done." And if you're not alert, you'll still be trying to fix things she's already emotionally left behind. You'll be apologizing for problems you didn't cause, begging for attention she's already decided you don't deserve. Men often confuse patience with strength, but when you tolerate disrespect, you're not being kind, you're being erased. Because once a woman loses respect, she starts rewriting who you are in her mind. The man she admired becomes a man she tolerates, and soon, even that becomes too much for her. So before we go deeper, remember this truth. Women rarely hate openly. Their hate is quiet, psychological, and precise. It's the small acts, the tone, the dismissal, the disregard, that reveal what her heart really feels. And if you recognize even one of these signs early, you can save your self-respect before it's too late. But if you keep pretending everything's fine, she won't just stop loving you, she'll start despising you. Not because you failed, but because you refuse to see the truth. Tell me something. Have you ever felt her energy change, like she's present, but no longer with you? Write yes in the comments if that's ever happened to you, and stay with me, because the signs are coming next. Like, share, and subscribe. A man you know might need to hear this today. The first sign she secretly hates you is mockery, disguised as humor. It's the kind of disrespect that hides behind laughter, but it's not funny when you're the one being laughed at. You know that moment when she makes a joke about you in front of others, and everyone laughs, including her. Except you. That's not teasing, that's a message. And it's not love talking, it's resentment wearing a smile. Women who still admire you will protect your image, especially in public. But when she starts making fun of your ambitions, your looks, your mistakes, not to bond with you, but to belittle you, that's emotional withdrawal. Psychology calls it aggressive humor, a subtle form of dominance meant to signal superiority. It's how someone says, "You're beneath me," without ever raising their voice. A woman who loves you wants you to feel safe around her. A woman who secretly hates you wants to watch you flinch. That's why she'll say things like, "Relax, I was just joking," when she sees you go quiet. She's testing how much you'll tolerate before you push back. And every time you laugh it off, you teach her something dangerous, that she can disrespect you without consequence. Here's what most men get wrong. They think staying calm makes them the bigger person. But silence isn't always strength. Sometimes it's permission. Because the moment she realizes you fear conflict more than you value your pride, she'll start losing the last bit of attraction she had left. Women don't stop respecting you when you're wrong. They stop respecting you when you stop defending yourself. The reason this hurts so much is because mockery used to be affection. Those early jokes were flirtatious, playful, innocent. But now they sting. That's your clue that something has shifted beneath the surface. Her humor has turned cold, her eyes sharper, her tone dripping with quiet disdain. If you feel like you've become the punchline in your own relationship, that's not a misunderstanding. That's truth revealing itself through behavior. A woman who mocks you doesn't hate you yet, but she's on her way there. Have you ever been in that situation? When her jokes stopped being funny and started feeling like small cuts? Type, "I felt that" in the comments if you know exactly what that means. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next sign will hit even deeper. The second sign she secretly hates you is emotional withdrawal masked as independence. You'll notice it when she starts saying things like, "I just need space," or "I'm focusing on myself right now." And while that can sound healthy, pay attention, because sometimes that's not self-care. That's quiet separation. That's her building a world where you no longer fit. It starts small. She stops asking for your opinion, stops updating you on her day. She used to tell you everything. Now, you find out through social media. When you ask how she's feeling, she says, "It's nothing." But her silence feels heavier than words. She's not angry anymore. She's indifferent. And indifference, not anger, is the true opposite of love. Psychology calls this emotional cutoff. It's a defense mechanism people use when they no longer feel safe or respected. But sometimes it's not about safety, it's about contempt. She's no longer trying to fix things, she's just trying to detach. And when a woman begins to emotionally detach, her body may still be there, but her heart is already halfway out the door. You'll notice it in the way she reacts to your wins and losses. She used to celebrate your victories. Now she shrugs. You used to see pride in her eyes. Now, there's apathy. She doesn't argue because she doesn't care enough to. Her silence isn't peace, it's goodbye in slow motion. Men who ignore this stage make the biggest mistake of all. They think giving her more space will make her come back. But space doesn't heal emotional disconnection, it widens it. Because when a woman starts imagining life without you, she's already rehearsing her escape. And here's the hardest truth: when she's emotionally done, no words can pull her back. No flowers, no messages, no apologies. Her heart has already gone quiet. What's left is routine, a hollow performance of love that died weeks ago. If you've ever felt that distance, when she's next to you but miles away, you know it cuts deeper than any argument ever could. Tell me in the comments, have you ever stayed with someone whose heart left long before their body did? And if this spoke to you, like, share, and subscribe, because what comes next reveals the most dangerous sign of all. The third sign she secretly hates you is constant comparison. And it's one of the cruelest forms of disrespect a man can endure, because she won't always say, "You're not enough." She'll just show it, in the way she talks about other men, in the way her eyes light up when another name slips into the conversation. It's a slow psychological poison, designed not to destroy you instantly, but to make you question your worth piece by piece. At first, it sounds harmless. She mentions how confident her co-worker is, how her ex used to do that or was so spontaneous. Maybe she talks about a celebrity, a friend, or even a stranger at the gym, but her tone gives it away. It's admiration, a spark that used to be reserved for you. And what she's really saying is, "I wish you were more like him." Psychologists call this indirect devaluation. It's how people express dissatisfaction without confrontation. Instead of telling you what's wrong, she replaces you emotionally with an idealized version of someone else. And when you catch it, she'll deny it. "You're being insecure," she'll say. But it's not insecurity, it's intuition. You can feel when your place in her mind is slipping. Here's what makes it worse. Comparison kills masculinity from the inside. You start competing for validation that will never come. You change how you talk, how you act, how you dress, all to chase a version of yourself she might approve of. But you forget, admiration can't be begged for, it's earned. And once she's stopped seeing you as the man she respects, no performance will bring it back. A woman who loves you will inspire you to grow without making you feel small. But a woman who secretly hates you will make sure you feel that smallness every chance she gets. Her compliments become rare, her enthusiasm fades, and you'll start to notice that she only seems truly alive when someone else's name enters the room. That's not your fault. It's her truth leaking out. The comparison isn't about the other man. It's about the fact that she no longer sees you as the man she once admired. So let me ask you, has she ever compared you to someone else, even subtly, and left you wondering if you'll ever be enough again? Comment yes if that ever broke you a little inside. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because the next sign will expose the moment she truly gives up on you. The fourth sign she secretly hates you is loss of empathy. When a woman stops caring about your pain, your exhaustion, or your emotions, that's when she's emotionally disconnected past the point of repair. It's not that she can't understand you anymore. It's that she chooses not to. That switch doesn't flip overnight. It happens slowly, as her compassion dies and resentment takes its place. You'll notice it when you try to open up. You tell her about your stress, your struggles, your long day, and she barely reacts. Maybe she scrolls her phone, changes the subject, or gives you that cold, blank stare that says, "Why are you telling me this?" That's not misunderstanding. That's withdrawal. Because empathy is the heartbeat of connection. And when it's gone, love can't survive. At first, you'll try to explain yourself. You'll think maybe she's tired, distracted, or busy. But deep down, you feel it. That invisible wall. She used to care. Now she calculates her responses. She used to ask questions. Now she avoids eye contact. That's the psychological distance of someone who's no longer emotionally invested. When a woman secretly hates you, your pain starts to annoy her. Your vulnerability feels like a burden. And soon, even your presence irritates her. You could be breathing wrong and she'll sigh. You could be sitting quietly and she'll look at you with silent judgment. That's contempt in its purest form, not through words, but through micro-reactions. And here's the truth no one tells men. When she loses empathy, she's already rewriting the story of your relationship. She's making herself the victim and you the villain. That way, when she finally walks away, she won't feel guilty. She'll tell herself you changed, you stopped trying, or you weren't emotionally available. But deep down, she detached long before that story began. If you've ever had to explain your emotions to someone who used to read you effortlessly, you know how painful it feels. It's like talking to a stranger, wearing the face of someone you once loved. That's not connection. That's the echo of what used to be. So tell me honestly, have you ever looked at her and realized she just didn't care anymore, no matter what you said or did? Comment yes if that moment still haunts you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the final sign reveals the point of no return, when her secret hate becomes open disrespect. The fifth and final sign she secretly hates you is public disrespect. The moment she stops protecting your image, your relationship is already gone. Because a woman who still cares, even when angry, will defend you in front of others. But when she starts correcting you in public, interrupting you, or rolling her eyes while you speak, she's not just expressing frustration, she's declaring emotional war. Public disrespect is psychological exposure. It's how she tells the world, "I don't value him anymore." You'll notice it in her tone, sharp, dismissive, almost amused at your expense. Maybe she talks over you at dinner, mocks your opinions, or disagrees not to make a point, but to make a scene. That's not communication, that's domination. She wants you to feel small, not in private where healing is possible, but in public where humiliation leaves a mark. What most men don't realize is that this isn't sudden. It's the final stage of contempt, the point where she no longer fears losing you. In her mind, she's already gone. Now she's testing how much she can disrespect you before you finally walk away. And if you don't, her disgust only grows. Because here's the brutal truth. A woman cannot love a man she does not respect. And she cannot respect a man who won't respect himself. Every time you let her talk down to you, you shrink in her eyes. Not because you're weak, but because you're giving strength to someone who stopped earning it. The more you chase her approval, the less she'll give it. It's a psychological law. Attraction can't coexist with contempt. And when a woman starts disrespecting you in front of others, she's already chosen her truth. She's not your partner anymore. She's your critic. If you're living this right now, I need you to understand, walking away isn't losing. It's reclaiming your worth. Because once she feels free to disrespect you publicly, staying isn't love. It's self-abandonment. You can't fix contempt. You can only leave before it destroys the man you used to be. So let me ask you one question. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever stayed with someone who made you feel small in front of others, hoping they'd one day see your value again? Tell me your answer in the comments. And if this hit home, like this video, share it with a man who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because the truth may hurt, but it will also set you free.